If you're watching this, I'm sure you know what content creation is. But do you know why most people struggle with content creation? It's actually not what you think. After consuming thousands of content, I realized the most common types of content are broken down into these 3 categories. And today I'm going to show you exactly what they are. So in the next few minutes, you're going to learn how to never run out of content ideas, the most common and easiest content types that you can create easily, and the reasons why, and how you should move forward to. These are all the things that nobody told me when I first started. But first, let me tell you the reality. When I first started a couple years back, I had no idea what to post, and I was just stare blankly at my screen. I have no idea what content I would do. I have no clue what to write on my script. Okay, back then I don't even have a script. I don't even know what to talk about. It's just I turn my camera on, record whatever things that I think at that moment is interesting, say whatever things that's on my mind, even though my mind was blank. So, you know, it did not turn out well. So normally I would just have my screen blank, probably with just 2 tabs. One is a Google Doc where I write whatever things that I have in mind, and another one would be whatever topics that I was searching about. And trust me, no matter what I did back then, and even 1 to 2 years back, it was still very difficult, especially without AI. You have no clue, no idea what would work, what would not work, what to talk about, what is your positioning, what value to bring, who is your target audience. All of these things are just blank. Now, there are 2 types of people in this world. I have a type of client where they don't know what to post, and another type of clients, they have a ton of ideas that it equally is paralyzing, that they don't know what to post either, because they've got so many ideas. They don't know what works, what they should post, what they should not post about. Now, here's what's interesting. Most of the content gurus out there, they're just saying, oh, you gotta post 3 times a day. You gotta use this hashtag, you gotta post at this hour, at this minute, at this second. To me, that's BS. Yes, I'm not saying that there wouldn't be any percentage of those elements that I've mentioned that belongs to part of the equation. But I believe the content itself, the value itself, and most importantly, what is your goal? And you gotta know why you're posting certain content. What are the content pillars that are important to you? And a lot of all these gurus, they just completely miss the real reason why you should post for each and specific every individual, because everyone has got their own goals, right? Someone else's goal is to gain 1 million followers. Someone else's goal is to gain $1 million. And those 2 are not equal. Without trying and without frameworks, without structures to follow, it's very easy for you to just sway away. I say that from experience. You can literally just go to my YouTube channel. You can see a ton of various topics that there is no specific positioning, there's no keyword, there's no nothing. So that is why I'm making a complete makeover of the content, the positioning, and in simple words, what are the things that you want people to relate to you? What are the keywords? What are the topics? That is a very important point. If you have a notebook, if you have a pen, or just your phone, write that down. That's gonna help you so much, especially whenever you think about a certain piece of content. You gotta know, you gotta ask yourself, does that help me in my goal? Which pillar does it belong to? How will that contribute to my personal brand, or my brand, my channel, or profile? Because if you fail to do that, you are very prone to failure. Now, here are the things that's gonna most probably happen. 1, you have no idea what you're doing. 2nd, people have no idea what you're posting. Number 3, your views are probably gonna be pretty low, but that's not the main problem, right? Because everyone starts somewhere, so it's not that important. But the next point is you're not gonna be able to sustain. You cannot be consistent with your content, or it's very difficult that you keep struggling. I spent years trying to figure this content thing out, and because it keeps changing, I wouldn't say, oh, I've got to figure it out. But the things I learned is I have spent 30 days trying to edit 1 video. And right now, it could be like 30 minutes or 3 hours or even 3 days. But for sure, it will not go to 30 days. Why? Because a lot of things of the equation has changed and optimized to a level where it is good enough and not time wasting. When it comes to scripting, a very simple element, it would take me weeks, right? Right now, I have a system that helps me with it. I can just teach it, I can tell it what I want, what I don't want. I've got frameworks for it to follow and for me to follow so that I don't forget things and get swayed off Like some of my clients too, they want to do something, they want to achieve something, so they will ask me if I've got certain frameworks or certain templates for them to follow. And my simple answer is yes. Like I don't really help them with mainly editing. It's more of working together as a long-term partner to figure out things together. Pretty much I am the second brain, which makes it very rewarding that we can work together and help them figure things out. Because a lot of times it's not about editing, it's not about content merely. It is about the positioning, the message. Does it relate to that group of people that you're targeting? And for the content, how does it fit in the equation of your funnel, of your business strategy as well? Now, the first type of post you can post about is the connection story. Yes, this type of post might not on day one bring you sales, bring you followers, bring you whatever that you want. But you gotta know, connection posts are posts where you share about your personal story, your real life experiences that makes you unique and makes you human. That's what's most important, right? As people don't relate to theories, they don't relate to dry stuff, but they immediately connect with you whenever you're talking about your own experiences and whenever you're telling stories. Now, I hear this all the time, including myself. When I first started, I was like, I don't have anything special. I'm not that unique. I don't have fancy cars. I don't have amazing family background. I'm just a normal human being. But what I did not understand, and what a lot of people don't understand, is yes, it may be as dry or as normal as it can be, but you are you, and everyone don't live the same lives. We don't have the same family members. We don't have the same activities, same stories, experiences, everything that has happened in our lives. We're all different in that way. Because think about it, if the same thing happened to two people, if their mindsets are different, you have two different outcomes, different emotions, different takeaways. And that is what makes you unique. So your story is worth sharing no matter how unique or how normal you think it is. When you post about this type of content, people will resonate more with you. They understand you. You're not just another guru, another coach, another business, another person, or another employee. It is your story that connects with people. So that is one extremely easy content type to make, because it is literally your experiences. Write it down, make it into script, make it into content. There you have it, done. The second thing that you can immediately start is the knowledge post. Every one of us, we are in a specific industry. Whether you are a coach, whether you're a chef, whether you're a physiotherapist, or you're a doctor, you're a memory expert, you're a financial advisor, real estate planner, or just a student, it does not matter. You have your own industry or your own niche that you can focus and talk things about. For example, if you are a chef, you can post things like, how do you finish a 5-minute meal at home? There may be techniques that chefs use at restaurants because they're in like the mass production, but at home you're kind of like just a very small portion. Maybe you can use their techniques, right? So that is what your unique industry knowledge that makes you different, or that is what helps people understand that you have a authority, right? You are in of a higher position than them. Especially for this point, for this person or this character, which is a chef. I'm going to talk about this more specifically in the coming videos, because posting that type of content, it will have different things that you need to consider, because you might attract the wrong audience. And the duration of how long you post it, why you're posting it, which pillar of it does it fit? Does it fit your bigger picture of your business, your personal brand, or your vlog? All of these things are a lot of elements for you to consider in order for you to decide whether or not you should do that, how long you should do it, why you're doing it, and everything else that you need to consider to make it your game plan. Now, thirdly, this is also one of the easiest things, or the easiest content that you can make, and this is called the post that drives conversation that are contradictory. I'm not sure how much you look into content creation, but if you realize that most of the times, a lot of the posts or videos that goes viral are those that are contradicting. I personally saw this recently of a LinkedIn post that was very contradicting. Then in the comment section, there's like fire. People arguing saying, you're not right, you're wrong, you're blah, blah, blah. You know, all of these discussions are gonna tell the algorithm that, hey, people are interested in this topic, they're interested in this post, so let's push it more to other people because they might be interested in it too. And yeah, that post went viral. Now this is the same concept that can be applied across all other platforms like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. Why do I say that this specific thing is applicable throughout all the platforms? That will leave it to another video. That's a lot of things going on in content creation, in web, in pretty much everything digital. Now, how do you actually make all of this happen? What are the steps? How do you start? We're gonna dive deep into that now. Now, for the post with knowledge that you're sharing your knowledge, sharing your industry experience, the easiest way is to firstly list out 10 questions that your ideal clients ask, or if you're already doing it, what are the normal things that people around you, including your target audience or your prospects, your clients, what do they normally ask? From there, you gotta identify easily 10 questions that you can start off with. And once you have those 10 questions, you can push it out. First, if talking to the camera is difficult for you, you want to just make it, make a script or a short Instagram post with just plain words, right? You don't have to make it complex. It could be just like a word kind of post. And once you have the words, you want to then turn the words into like a short script for short videos, right? Once you have that, and if you have not made any YouTube videos ever, then it's all right. You can just stick with these two first, like just words and short videos, these two. And once you're more comfortable, you're more confident in talking to the camera, and YouTube is one of the important pieces in your business and in the content creation game, then just move on and expand from whatever that you have and make it into YouTube videos. Now, this is how you slowly get the ball rolling. And once you post enough of this, okay, I wouldn't say very confident, but you can feel more comfortable and more confident if you are initially afraid or you're not that comfortable with the camera. And for the other types of content that we talk about, for those that, make people want to conversate or are controversial, those you can talk about. If you have been, for example, in real estate, you know that some real estate agents, they are just fluffing. They don't really know what's happening. What are the clauses to look into when it comes to agreements? Now, this is what a client told me. So the same thing, if you have been in the industry, if you've talked to people enough, you know what are the fluffs, you know what are the things that are wrong, what are the myths that normal people have. So you're gonna target these two, right? If you're really not sure, or if you are very new to the industry, ask your best friend. Ask your best friend ChatGPT or Claude. From there, look into like the controversial things that if you have your own opinion, you can make videos out of it. But of course, if you are not sure, don't post about things you're not sure. We don't want to spoil the internet. Okay, let's say we take a very bare minimal of questions. 10 here, 10 here, and 10 more maybe for personal stories. For personal stories, you can share your experiences, like case studies with you and your clients. Or if you don't have clients, you can just talk about your own experience, your journey. How did you end up doing whatever that you're doing? Or like, what does it mean to you? Your journey, you can talk about the struggles, the wins. And if you are at a better place now, how did that help you end up in this better place? Because people want to know, people are curious. This is one very important point. Now, these are all the things that you need to just start and just get the ball rolling. Of course, I'm not saying that you should stick with all of these for months, for years. There are reasons why you need to start with this first, especially if you're a beginner. And there are also reasons why you should not stick with it until the very end. I believe I've talked a lot about content, and you know what are the types of content that you can create easily. So just start and post. If you're started because of this video, just tag me in your socials. Let me know down in the comment section. I will reply to every single comment because I appreciate every single one of you. And while you're doing this, maybe you might think about, how do I make this efficient? How do I make the process easy? I don't want to be spending hours just to make one video. I don't want to be spending days and weeks for all of these things. I don't have the time. Well, I will share more about this in the future videos because that is what I help my clients with. Time is very precious. I cannot afford to have them and have anyone waste time, because when you have systems, when you have AI, when you're doing the right things, everything's gonna be much easier. But for now, in the next video, I'm gonna show you why some people have a large following but they're not earning a single cent, while some people with a small following, they're actually making money. It may not be a ton of money, but there is money. And of course, some of them, they really make a ton of money with like hundreds of followers only. With that, I'll catch you in the next one. Live with no regrets.